What is up, everybody? We are rolling in now to week 10. Crazy fantasy season is going by so quickly. But I mean, last night's game we had the Bears Panthers. What a kind of waste of a primetime game. But Foreman winds up getting the tutty 21 for 80 yards and the touchdown. Herbert was not back yet in this game. We saw Roshan Johnson a little bit towards the end of this game, 5 for 18. He also had 4 for 14 through the air. So that was good to see for Roshan. Cole Kmet, 7 targets, 5 for 45. DJ Moore getting the targets, but just not high value targets with, Badgett back there who was 20 of 33 for 162, no touchdowns, no interceptions. But Bryce Young, on the other hand, I mean, 21 of 38, 185. Just can't seem to get things going with this Carolina offense lately. Even Adam Thielen's been, very quiet as of late, 6 for 42. I mean, Diaz, what up, Diaz? Wait till Sunday night. Yeah. What up, Marty? Marty in the building. What's good? What's good, y'all? But I mean, Mingo had 7 targets, didn't really do jack with him. I mean, 3 for 20, but the 7 targets was encouraging. But unless Thielen goes ham, I mean, this team just can't seem to get nothing going. Chuba 9 for 23. I mean, they go out in the offseason and they pay Miles Sanders. And now they've got him basically on the back burner. I mean, 2 for -5 yards. Miles Sanders. Guy's not even starting now, and they just spent that money on him. Now, I'm sure with the way the contract was set up, it's probably not gonna cost them, and they can probably get out of it. I'm not sure. Let me know if anybody knows out there what the contract is exactly, if they can get out of that. I would think so. I would think so, but we got my Vikings going up against the Saints. So, big game for us. I mean, we're 5 and 4. We kind of need to come out with this win here. If we can go to 6 and 4 with Dobbs. You've got Akers obviously out, so Madison is a little bit more interesting nowadays. Birdman, what up, Birdman? What's good, my man? Appreciate you. Have to pay him whatever he's guaranteed. Yeah, I don't know what the guarantee is. And if it was all kind of upfront, like in this first year, it doesn't really cost them that much, right? So I'm sure they probably have something in there where it doesn't cost them much in year 2 or year 3 if they wind up releasing them. See if we can pull it up. Let's see if we could pull it up. So there's an out in 2025 and in 2024. Looks like Hat Pit is almost like 8 mil. So we'll see. I mean, I think they're a team that has some cap space, so whatever, but sucks for them. Yeah, he's definitely a bum, man. He's definitely a bum. A lot of people were on Miles Sanders. I mean, he was, he was good for the Eagles, obviously, behind that offensive line, in that offense. Didn't really get involved in the pass game much, but scored a bunch of touchdowns. And you take that away, you replace a good O line with a bad O line, replace a great offense with a bad offense, and just not being able to have those opportunities to score those touchdowns. It's rough for Sanders, and I'm sure that if they win, Jefferson will be back, but if they don't, not looking good. Well, I mean, I wouldn't say that because we're still in, like, right now, we're in the playoffs, right? So if we go to 5 and 5, like, yeah, that hurts a little bit, but it doesn't knock us out or anything like that. So, he takes one more week. I mean, that's fine. And that's probably why we're allowing him to take the extra time and say, let's not rush him back because if we do lose this game, we're not totally out of it. We need him healthy for the rest of the season. So At this point, we gotta go in, man. JJ's coming back this year. He wants to be in the Hall of Fame. Yeah, of course. I mean, I don't think he's gonna sit out at all. I mean, I think that's a bit egregious. I don't think he's that type of player. He's trying to set records, not necessarily, play around. He went to the wrong team. They have no line. Yeah, I mean, he's okay, but he just never turned out to what we thought he would turn out to. I mean, if he was really that good, maybe he would have played more for the Eagles. I mean, we even saw like in big games, like he wasn't even out there. Like, it wasn't in the goal line. So it was just weird, man. Better enough keeping him. I think the coach GM gets fired. Yeah, they might as well. I mean, it's rough. Sucks for him. Godowski, would you start D Hop, Deontay Johnson, or James Cook? I'd be starting Deontay Johnson of these. I feel the most comfortable. I think James Cook has a good matchup, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, they do play the Broncos, so it is a good matchup for James Cook, but I think the target hog that Deontay is, I don't think you can just not play him. So, yeah, I'd be going with Deontay there. Yeah, DS says the same thing. Go with Deontay. Richard, what up, Richard? Full PPR. If Chase sits, who to start? Michael Thomas or London? Yeah, I'd be going with Drake London for sure. Not Michael Thomas. So yeah, if Chase sits, then I go London. And we'll find out. I think Chase plays the 1 o'clock game. So yeah, so we'll find out early. We'll find out early. Look at Bryce. Yeah, it's just a bad situation at the moment. Johnny D, what up, Johnny D? Can't believe I'm asking this question, but are we smashing the start button on Taysom Hill over Jake Ferguson as my tight end? Basically, need to win all my matchups. Yeah, I mean, Jake Ferguson's been awesome lately, but if you've got Taysom Hill, what he's been doing and how involved he's been, it's going to be very hard to not play him. So, as much as I love, to just ride Jake Ferguson when Taysom Hill is throwing the football, running the football, having more rushes than Alvin Kamara. I mean, at this point, like, fuck it, just play Taysom Hill. Just play Taysom Hill. We're going with Taysom, Johnny. I know. No, it's a legit. I mean, it's a cheat code. You're able to play him at the tight end position. I mean, so take advantage, man. Take advantage. Wow, Gibbs or Deontay. That's a really tough one because Monty's just coming back. So, you would guess that Monty will be getting the majority of the touches, or at least definitely the meaningful goal line touches down at the goal line. So, oh man, that's a tough one. But is he as involved in the pass game? Who does let me see who the Steelers are. All right, so Steelers got the Packers. Lions got the Chargers. Yeah, I might have to go with Gibbs here because he doesn't even need that many touches, but he's a guy that can catch the ball and rush the ball. So it might be a little bit risky. We know the upside is on the Gibbs side of what he can do. Deontay is probably like the safer play. He's going to just give you a good amount of PPR points, but I think you got to go Gibbs here. But they are really close this week. Hell yeah. Sutton, Boyd, or Pickens? Oof. I'll- I might go Boyd here. We've already got Higgins out. We're not sure what's going to happen with Chase. Hopefully, he does play. Pickens, I mean, Deontay is just a ball hog, so he's getting the majority of the work. Sutton is okay. He's decent, but give me the upside with the quarterback and that offense. Let's go with Tyler Boyd, Marty. Let's go with Tyler Boyd. So he got that buffet. Yeah, yeah, he did. He did. He did. He went crazy that game he came back, Monty. Kevin, what up, Kevin? Pick two Superflex. Deshaun Watson, Russ, and Kyler. I don't I'm not sure how comfortable I am playing Kyler in this first game back. Could he do well? Yeah, but I mean, he hasn't played, and the Falcons' defense is They're not great, but they're not horrible. Like, they're actually pretty good, so Deshaun against the Ravens, I mean, that's a good defense too, so you can make the argument for Deshaun. He hasn't necessarily played great, had a good game last game, but, I mean, it was a tip pass that wound up still scoring the tutty. And then we've got Russell Wilson. Where's Russ at? Russ has the Bills, another kinda good defense, but I'd probably go Deshaun and Russ here and sit Kyler in this first game back. Let me see what happens with him, see how that looks before I trot him out there. Deshaun gave you good production last game, so let's roll with him. And Russ has actually been pretty decent this year. Well, actually pretty good this year. So maybe against the Bills, whether they're in the game and it's a shootout or they're getting killed and he has to throw anyway. Give me Russ and Deshaun. You trust Boyd? I mean, not necessarily, but over the other options, over Sutton or Pickens. I mean, Pickens hasn't been good with Deontay back, and then you've got Sutton who's been okay. I'd rather just take the upside with Higgins being out. So I trust Boyd more, obviously a ton more when one of those top guys, Higgins or Chase, is out. So yeah, give me Boyd, man. Kev in the building. What up, Kev? Hoping McBride can have a good game with Kyler. Yeah, I'm still rolling with McBride. I think that tight end there and that offense is kind of really utilized. And, we saw even last year, Kyler with Ertz, Kyler with McBride. So yeah, I'm with that. I'm excited to see McBride. McBride is very sneakily like a really good dynasty tight end, who's in the top 12 for sure. Taysom Hill, number one overall in next year's redraft. Yeah, right, Brian. I mean, crazy, crazy, but yeah, we're out here. We're rolling with Taysom Hill at this point. We can't say anything anymore. It is what it is. Still not buying the hype. Guarantee he'll put up like 3 points this week. And that's fair. And I'm sure that there is going to be that game where he does kind of dud it for you, but so has kind of all of these other tight ends. So like the floor is the same whether you play Taysom Hill or anybody else, but the upside is a lot more with Taysom Hill than it is with some of these other guys. So Bills defense is a hologram now. Yeah, I mean, I like Sutton. I like Sutton too. I like Sutton too for sure. I mean, you could definitely play Sutton, but Sutton's been decently solid. Thoughts on Demario Douglas and Dynasty and flex play rest of the season? Had to play him last week. Yeah, I mean, he's literally the only guy there because nobody else can even stay on the field. I don't have a ton of kinda outlook for him. I think that just by situation, he's gonna be getting targeted and getting some work. I mean, he's a probably barely a flex play, probably barely a flex play there. And I mean, and when we're talking about for the future, I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't invest in him really for the future, but you obviously can get him for relatively crazy cheap. So why not, hold on to him, let the value build up, and then you can decide what you want to do from there. So I agree. Has some crazy game with Ertz out. Yeah, man. Yeah. Albert in the building. What's up, Albert? What's up, brother? Appreciate you tuning in, man. As always. The thing is, Carr's not Drew and Hill is better now. And it's not luck what he doing. Yeah, I mean, we know that Carr is not great at all. So we see that Taysom is just bringing a different feeling to the offense, a different feeling for the defense as well. I mean, what does the defense do when Taysom comes in? The guy can pass the ball, he can catch the ball, he can run the ball. I mean, you don't know what he's going to do, so it's hard. You know, it's hard for the defense. So I think that the Saints are just kind of trying to take advantage because they know their offense isn't great to begin with. So anything that can kind of give them an advantage, especially down at the goal line, that helps. That helps. So he was a beast. Yeah, I mean, listen, there's a lot of guys that are in college that were a beast, but I mean, Taysom, I think he's not a quarterback, and he's not a running back, and he's not a tight end, but he can kind of play all three of them decently. So he's kind of like that Swiss Army knife. So he can do a little bit of everything, and I think learning all of those positions, he kind of understands a little bit more, offense, defense. So it's helped so far. It's helped so far. But when you've got a guy like Drew Brees back there or a really good quarterback, like at that point, you don't want to take them out of a rhythm. You don't want to, make them feel uncomfortable by not being out there. And that could kind of disrupt their game. So I think when you don't have one of those top quarterbacks, like that's kind of why they're just throwing him in there, giving him a lot of work, putting some pressure on the defense, anything to try and score. So you watching UFC fights tomorrow night? I don't know. Possibly. I don't go crazy into them. I watch a little bit, not as much as Hammer. Hammer watches a little bit more than me. But I might. I think I've got some website I wind up watching it on. So we do have the show tomorrow too. So I mean, I don't know. I'll see. I gotta ask Hammer. I'm not sure. Zah, what's up, Zah? Yo, hope all is well, homie. Yeah, appreciate you, man. Hope you're all good, my man. Start two Mixon, Hall, and Walker. And which tight end, Kincaid or Hill? I can flex both tight end, but gotta sit an RB. Wow. Can you trade Kincaid or Hill? I mean, can you trade Taysom right now? If I had to start two, I'd probably go Hall and Mixon. Gary Hall and Mixon. Walker just hasn't been great lately, but that could be somewhat to the game flow. Like I don't know if Walker is going to bounce back or not, but give me the sure things in Hall and Mixon. I know Mixon's going to get a ton of work. Whether he puts up a ton of fantasy points or not, he's pretty safe. And then Brees is getting the work over there. So give me some of Brees, and we'll sit Kenny Walker there. Which tight end, Kincaid or Hill? I mean, damn, Kincaid's been so good. Yeah, I mean, damn, 10 catches, 11 targets last game for 81 yards. Going against Denver, you can probably feel pretty damn safe with Kincaid. But again, that upside has got to be, with Taysom where he can just throw a touchdown, run a touchdown, catch a touchdown. I mean, so I probably just play Kincaid because I know that's safe. There's not a very, there's a very, very high floor with Kincaid, I feel like right now. Like these past 3 weeks, he's gone crazy pretty much as that number two guy. So yeah, appreciate you, Bird, man. Isaac, what up, Isaac? What's goody, my man? Would you trade Swift for Debo or Pittman or James Cook for Godwin? I'd probably do any of those, honestly. James Cook, I'm okay with giving up for Godwin if you need a wide receiver and you have other running backs, as long as you're not relying on James Cook, you have somebody to fill in there. And then Swift, who is a pretty good running back, doing well as well. I mean, if you can afford to give up Swift and you need that wide receiver, I'm not very high on Debo, and he always gets hurt. So I've always told everybody to stay away from Debo and sell Debo. And look what's happening this season. And I do like Pittman. I mean, he's getting targeted. He's doing some work. So yeah, if you need a wide receiver, grab Pittman. I think he's very underrated. He was very underrated coming into the season, by myself included. But yeah, he's doing his thing. So yeah, give me Pittman if you need a wide receiver, and give me Godwin as well. I like both of those, man. You just got JT for Garrett Wilson. Okay. Kudos to you, man. Looks like JT is now getting the majority of the touches if we see a repeat of what we saw last week where JT just got the majority of the touches. I mean, Moss has been good, but kind of took a back seat a little bit last week, which kind of sucked because I still played Moss in I think two of my leagues last week. But If you get Pittman, you also have JT. I mean, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Or maybe you make another trade, right? Can you trade Pittman at that point, just like a lateral trade for another wide receiver in that kind of same range if you're uncomfortable with the combo? I'm fine with the combo. It's not two wide receivers, it's a wide receiver and a running back. And then that running back is a workhorse. So I'm okay with having both of them. Yeah. Debo has burned everybody because I mean, it's just what he is. He's just a very physical guy and he winds up getting hurt. He's more of a gadget guy than an actual kind of wide receiver. And he's only had one good season. I mean, I've been trying to tell people for the last 2 years. He had that huge season and he was just way, way overvalued coming into, last season. And winds up playing 13 games, hurt for a few, wide receiver 38. He's had one good season. That's it. And as we speak now, I mean, wide receiver, what, 51? 6 games only. So, yeah, I was never kind of a huge fan of Debo. So, Isaac, I might do Cook for Godwin, more under the radar trade. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I like it. I like that trade a lot. I bought I think 2 Godwins in some dynasty leagues of mine because he's just incredibly cheap. He's incredibly cheap. But yeah, if you can come off with just James Cook for Godwin, then yeah, give me Godwin. Let's take a look at I think his schedule that's coming up. I mean, Tennessee, San Fran, Indy, Carolina. Got some opportunities. Got some opportunities coming up. And he hasn't been great. I mean, he's only had what 100-yard game so far this season. He's got one touchdown. He's wide receiver 40 right now, and hopefully that changes. Hopefully that changes going forward. We'll see. Exactly. Debo carries that name value. And that's one thing, especially, in fantasy football, dynasty, whether it's redraft or dynasty. I mean, the names carry a ton of value, right? The George Kittles, the Goddards, these guys carry Debo, right? They carry that name value where you can take, you can come off of some of these guys for somebody that is going to produce the exact same, but just doesn't have that name value. So, for sure, that name value is always a thing. Always a thing. So, Colts Patriots. We'll see what Pittman does here, and let's check on the season. Because on the season, Michael Pittman is wide receiver, what, 12? 58 catches for 593 yards. So on pace for 1,000 yards. Only 3 tutties. So I mean, we like to see that come up. Still wide receiver 12, though, on top, even with only the 3 tutties. So we're in week 9. So kind of on pace for what, 6 tutties, which will be what he did in 2021 when he finished as wide receiver 15, wide receiver 23 last year. So I've opened up to Pittman. I didn't really like him coming into the season, but he's still getting targets. Now, you know, with Anthony Richardson coming back, does he continue to see that high volume of targets? Because he's not Minshew for sure. Right. I'm starting Noah Brown, baby. Yeah. I mean, Noah's rough. I know that, Nico's out, right? So Tank Dell, Noah, but also Woods came back as well. So I would say be just a tiny bit cautious with Noah, but he is a very sneaky, a sneaky play. Birdman. So the thing is, C-Mac there. So they don't need Debo to do all the things he exactly, Birdman. I mean, we've kind of been preaching. Well, for me at least, I've been preaching this all season as well. Even before the season, I think I put out a video on Debo Samuel, a little short video where my concerns were obviously he's been only one season where he's been good, and on top of that, now that they do have CMC, just like you're saying here, they don't need him to run the football like they used to. They don't need him to, have those goal line carries like they did that one season. They don't need that anymore. Now they have CMC. So back then it was what Elijah Mitchell, and then he was getting hurt as well. So they had nobody to really like hand the ball to. So Debo was just getting a ton of carries, and he's just not seeing that type of he's not seeing those type of opportunities like he was before. So it's totally different now for Debo. And you're starting to see like Ayuk is kind of the better all around wide receiver, route runner. Dude's a double digit guy every week. AR coming back this year. He is, but I still don't like him. Is AR back? AR coming back this year? No, AR's not coming back this year. AR won't be coming back till next year. I think his season is over right now. So is this a Purdy game, good matchup, or start Lamar for sure? Now, I'm not starting Purdy over Lamar. I don't care, what the matchup is. I'm gonna play Lamar every time. And Lamar's got Cleveland, but he's got the rushing upside. So I'm still playing Lamar. They don't forget they did give up 38 points to Indianapolis. I mean, gave up what 28 to Baltimore back in week 4. So yeah, I'm still playing Lamar. I'm not gonna play Purdy over him, but you're right, it is a good matchup with Purdy. I'm actually starting Purdy in one of my 1 QBs this week. I think Mahomes on is it Mahomes on bye? One of the QBs I got on bye. Simp, what's up, Simp? Need some lineup help? That's what I'm here for, brother. I got you. Full PPR, 2 running back, 2 wide receivers, 1 tight end, 2 flexes. Herbert, CD Ridley, Dell, London, Bijan Gibbs, Monty, Cook, Laporta, and Kincaid. Man, all these double tight end situations, man. We need to come off and make a trade. Need biggest upside facing the number 1 team in the league. Okay. Well, what's upside? So we need 2 running backs. We've got Bijan Gibbs, Monty, and James Cook. Bijan Gibbs, Monty, and James Cook. Damn. James Cook has a great matchup, but he just hasn't been as good as we kind of want him to be. You've got Gibbs in that good matchup against the Chargers. I might just say Gibbs and Monty. I know that's crazy. That could be crazy, but Gibbs and Monty probably might be the best bet offensively. Bijan, I just don't know what to expect. I mean, Arthur Smith just gives no fucks. So they are going up against Arizona, which is a good matchup, but it's just too hard to trust. Like, can we trust Bijan? I think you just go Gibbs and Monty and call it a day. So let's go Gibbs and Monty at running back. Wide receivers, we've got CD, Ridley, Dell, and London. So we'll go CD, and I know Nico's out. And Ridley and Dell, you can kind of go either or there. If you want to go upside, maybe it's Dell that he breaks one. I mean, I'll probably go Ridley, but you can make the argument for Dell there, and then at tight end, we can go. I mean, it's hard to just not go Laporta, who's been awesome. Yeah, against the Chargers. So yeah, give me Laporta there. And then we do need two flexes, okay? So let's go with London in one flex. And let's go with Dell in the other flex. So you got CD Ridley, Dell, and London in your flexes. And then you've got Laporta with Monty and Gibbs. I think that's what I'd roll with. And you could make the argument for Kincaid as well. You can slide him in one of the flexes if you want, or just play him over Laporta. It's a tough one to decide. I mean, they are going to get up against the Broncos, so it is a real good matchup. But I think I'm still going to go Laporta. So if you want to play Kincaid over London or Dell, then you can do that. But I'd be looking to trade one of those guys like actively right away, either Laporta or Kincaid. Pick which one that you want to keep, and then just trade the other one because you're not going to be able to make that decision every single week. That's rough. Don't sleep on Purdy rushes. Yeah. Need to sit one. What's up, Daniel? Addison, Ridley, Lockett, Douglas. Need to sit one. We're going to sit Douglas. We're going to play Addison, Ridley, and Lockett. We'll sit Douglas for sure. I know he's the only guy there, but we're still not going to play him over any of these other guys. So McBride or Fergie? Ooh, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. It is Kyler's first game back, so might just have to go Ferguson here and just play it on a wait and see. I mean, it's not like Ferguson ain't producing. So, and this week they have where they at? They do got the Giants this week, so McBride could absolutely just go ham with another 10, 11 targets, but give me Ferguson until we see what we want to see out of Kyler. Also got Mitchell off a waiver. Should I put him in my only flex spot over either Tyler Boyd or Gabe Davis or Michael Thomas? Oof. I wouldn't play him over Tyler Boyd. I mean, I do like Keaton Mitchell, but we don't know what's happening there, guys. I mean, that's a three-headed backfield. You've got Gus Edwards, who's getting the meaningful goal line touches and getting the majority of the work the past 3 weeks. I mean, he's been like a top 10 guy. So I don't know what we're going to get out of Mitchell. I think he does get somewhat of touches. Maybe he gets like a 7 to 10 touches or something like that, which might be all he needs to break one off, obviously, as we saw. But give me Tyler Boyd, especially with Higgins out and with Chase a little bit banged up as well. I'll roll with Tyler Boyd for sure. Appreciate you, Kyle. Cook's been hella efficient. They just don't use him right. I know, and it's weird because we thought they were going to really use him a lot more because he's shown he can do a little bit of everything, but it seems like they've decided they do not want to give him a workload. They don't want him to be a guy that gets a lot of touches at the running back position. So seems like they want to use him in a certain way, and that's just what they're going to do. So Kevin, what's up, Kevin? Madison or Javante? Sutton or London? Yeah. Let's go with London. Let's go with London. And then let's go with we go with let's go with Javante. Let's go with That's a tough one because Madison, obviously Akers is down, but Javante's getting a lot more work now too. Saints defense is pretty good, as well as the Bills defense is as well. But I might have to go Javante here. Yeah, I might play Madison actually. With him being the only dude there, give me Madison by a hair, and it's probably only just because the Bills will probably kill the Broncos. So yeah, just Give me Madison. I don't love it because I do like Javante better, but yeah. Give me Madison and London there. Oh, you meant start 2, Daniel. My bad. Start 2. So we got to start 2 of these guys only. So it's Addison, Ridley, Lockett. Against Washington. Lockett's removed from the injury report. I think we want to play Lockett. Calvin Ridley is a good matchup as well. I'll probably play Ridley and Lockett and sit Addison against New Orleans. That's a tough one to do, but I think that might what we have to do there. Oh, I got this one already. My bad. Is it Mitchell hurt? Yeah, I think Mitchell is a little bit banged up. I don't know if he's officially ruled out yet, but yeah, he's questionable. So he hasn't been ruled out yet. So that might make that decision easier. Also have Connor on IR. Crazy to think putting Dobbs in over Herbert. Mm, I mean, it's not crazy because Dobbs has been really good, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. I think Dobbs is at like QB 10 and Herbert's at like QB 7. So no, I'm still playing Herbert simp. I'm still playing Herbert. What do you think of me and Diaz trade and the subs in the sub league? I'm sure you liked the picks. I think that was what was it like 2 seconds for where is it? I saw it. I liked it for you. Yeah, I mean you gave up 2 seconds. I mean, I'm looking at the version that's on the internet, not on the phone right now, so it doesn't tell me whose picks these were, if it was your pick or whose pick it was. But yeah, I'm okay with giving up 2 seconds for Amari Cooper if you're going to contend there. Let me see where you're at in this league. You are okay, yeah, you're 5-4 right there. Yeah, you got a good squad. Amari, Gibbs, McLaurin, Addison, McBride, Boyd. You got Golf and Mahomes. That's right. We got Mostert down there. Yeah, man. I like it. But yeah, I like the trade there. 2 seconds for Amari Cooper. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that price. It's not a first. I don't think I want to pay a first for him, but should I trade away Pickens and Singletary for Garrett Wilson? Non PPR. Yeah, you could at this point. I mean, Garrett Wilson is getting a ton of looks. Pickens is not. Deontay's been back and been hogging those targets, so I'm okay with that. Give me G Willie. Kev said thoughts on Irv Smith with Chase and Higgins out. I like Irv Smith. I've always liked Irv Smith, and he was, originally a Viking to begin with. So he's an athletic dude that can catch the football. He just hasn't been able to stay healthy. So I do like Irv Smith. You saw a little bit of him, last week, what he can do. So yeah, I do like Irv Smith, especially with those guys out. Thanks. I know it's tough. Yeah, yeah, definitely tough, Daniel. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you always. Lawrence or Levis? I'm playing Lawrence still. I'm not starting Levis yet. My opponent has Josh Allen. Appreciate you, Kyle. But yeah, I'm just not ready to put in. I'm not putting in Will Levis. I know Lawrence hasn't been great, but I'll still take Lawrence. My opponent has Josh Allen. Simp said, would it be to my advantage to flex Kincaid to help offset some of his points? Also, Herbert, my QB, and he has Keenan and Eckler. Yeah, I mean, nothing you can do about that. You're not just going to play Dobbs just because he has Keenan and Eckler. I mean, I think it is what it is. And I wouldn't be forced to flex Kincaid, but if you wanted to, that's fine. I mean, I get it. But would definitely offset the points, obviously, if he starts, if he's throwing touchdowns to Kincaid, but I wouldn't do anything crazy. I mean, it's not a major thing, so Alex, what's up, Alex? Odd question. Second year player, is it better to have players that have later games versus earlier ones? Feel like I get too hung up on rather playing someone later in the day versus early. I mean, yeah, whether they play early or late shouldn't really matter on, who you're deciding to play unless there's an injury and you have to, see if that guy plays or not in order to put in the other guy. So, no, I mean, it doesn't matter. He just stayed hurt. Yeah. Yeah. I got the second for Gabe Davis. Oh, you got the second for Davis. Okay. So kind of was Gabe Davis and a second for Amari. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I like it, Marty. I like it, Marty. Whose second was it? So did you spend your second and what was the other second? Whose other second was that? Yeah, I feel that. I feel that for sure. Levis doing what he did in college, play wild. He cleaned up his stuff. He will fire. Yeah, I mean, he's okay, I guess. I mean, he still has a lot to go, a lot to prove. I think that he's doing fine for what they're asking him to do, which was, hand off the ball, try to control the ball, don't make a ton of mistakes. But he did show that he can't really read the defense yet. He very much kind of hones in on who he's going to target and who he's going to throw it to, and he's not really good at reading the decent defense or processing what type of defense he's going against, which is what we saw in college and what we knew going into the NFL. So it's nothing new at all, but he has an opportunity to learn and be good on a team that's not necessarily that good, but you do have DeAndre Hopkins, you do have Derrick Henry, so hand the ball off, take care of the football, keep it a close game, get the ball to DeAndre Hopkins when you can, and kind of take it from there. So, Javier, what's up, Javier? Appreciate you tuning in, man. Drop all your questions in the chat, guys. Smash that like for me. Smash that subscribe if you're new. But yeah, drop all the questions in the chat. I will get to all the questions there. Would you make this trade, Jacoby and B Rob, for Garrett Wilson or Devonta Smith? Team Golf, Eckler, Bijan, Kyron, Connor, AJ Brown, Pittman, Tank, Douglas, Laporta, Kincaid. So Jacoby and B Rob or Garrett Wilson or Devonta Smith. Um, I think Devonta Smith just has a little bit higher upside with the QB situation. So yeah, I'm okay with making that move. I mean, you've got some running backs, you've got and that will give you another wide receiver. So if you're rolling with AJ Brown, Pittman, and Devonta Smith or Garrett Wilson, I mean, if you like Garrett Wilson better, then that's fine. I'll probably still roll with Smith, but and then you got Laporta and Kincaid. Can you trade one of those tight ends so you don't have to choose every week, who are you going to play? So I'd look to move one of those tight ends too. But yeah, I'm okay with that. I prefer Smith. RC 257. I think what is he like in the middle of the pack? So yeah, I mean that's fine. 2 seconds. I like it, Marty. I like the trade. Bryce, what's up, Bryce? Appreciate you tuning in. Do I trade Mostert for Bijan? I already have Chua and Waddle in redraft. I'd be okay with it. I know Bijan obviously is not getting the work that we thought he would. So, you're looking at taking a big hit from a production standpoint if Mostert stays healthy. So, I don't know what the rest of your running backs look like. If you want to make this trade to get Bijan because you're afraid that Mostert number one is going to get injured, or number two that Achan is going to take away most of the work, then okay. Or if it's just because you have Tua and Waddle and you don't want all three of these guys. I mean, so I'd probably just hold on to Mostert because of what he's doing. But like I said, if you wanted to get Bijan, then I'm fine with that. He's 4 and 5 right now, so 2 mid to late seconds. Yeah, yeah, you're fine. It's a fine price, Marty. You didn't wind up spending the first. You're getting a producing guy that's going to be scoring you points this year, and, he's not 30 yet. He's getting up there, but he's still got a little bit of time. Still got a little bit of time. Hidalgo, what's up? Should I trade Pollard and Watson for Achan and Kyler? Should I trade Evans and Taysom for Jefferson? I'm 8-1. Team is Lamar, Keenan, Amon-Ra, Myers, Kamara, Monty, Spears, Foreman, Kelsey. All right. Should I trade Pollard and Watson for Achan and Kyler? I mean, who's your QB? Is Lamar? Your QB is Lamar. I mean, no. I'm not trading Pollard and Watson for Achan and Kyler. I mean, I like Tony Pollard. I think that, I know he hasn't been producing like we've wanted him to, but he's a good buy low right now. I don't love Christian Watson, but I'm not trying to get a quarterback here. So I'm keeping Pollard and Watson there. Should you trade Evans and Taysom for Jefferson? I'm okay with doing that. You're 8-1 and you want the upside of Jefferson when he comes back. That's fine. I'm okay with that one. So let's do that one. Go get JJ. So yeah, I like the second one. I like the second one, Hidalgo, for sure. I like the second one. Isaac said, "Would you start Watson or Reed? Is that bad this week?" Oof, man, that's tough. I mean, 2 targets last game for Christian Watson. What is that? 3 targets for Jaden Reed, so it wasn't like it was much better for him either. I think I'll probably still roll with Watson, just the upside that he has there, the way that they're gonna try and get him involved and get him the ball. Give me Watson, but it's relatively closer, relatively too close to what it should be actually, because it should be Watson by a mile, but it's not, and, that's just kinda where we are right now. Appreciate you, Hidalgo. No problem, man. Smash that, like for me. Hit the subscribe, if it's your first time here, so, come back. We're live a few nights a week, about 10 Eastern, Tuesdays, Saturdays, and Sundays, so, Fridays and Saturdays. Tuesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays, and then Sunday mornings. Appreciate you, man. Dull Guitar, what's up, man? Dynasty. All right, perfect. Dynasty 6-3. We traded Diggs and Amari Cooper. Traded Stephon Diggs, Amari Cooper, a third and a fourth for Chris Olave, T. Higgins, and a first. Damn, I got a first on top of that. How'd you pull that one off? I have Puka and Amon-Ra. Already need 3 flex, which Olave and Higgins would take. Thoughts? I think that you made an awesome trade. For now and in the future. Is Stephon Diggs going to give you more points than anybody else? Like, yes. Is Amari Cooper going to give you more points, than Olave and Higgins right now? Yes. But you've got like good young pillar wide receivers to build your team around for the next few years where, you have a bunch of core guys. We talk about all the time setting up your teams with your wide receivers and your quarterbacks, of course, in super flex leagues. But your wide receivers are most important, right? They last the longest. Now, obviously, depending on the format, that could change, right? Is it start 8? Is it start 10? Is it 1 QB? Is it super flex? Obviously, all of those things change, but for the most part, you want to, build around those wide receivers. And now you're going to have Puka, Amon-Ra, Olave, and T. Higgins. So you're set up with 4 of the top, arguably top 15 wide receivers, maybe 20 depending where people have kind of, T. Higgins, but you got 4 of the top 20 wide receivers for sure. So I love it. And you got a first on top of that, which is just criminal. That's not even fair. So you got a first on top of it. You took the young guys that are not producing and you got the first. So I love it, man. That's an awesome trade. And you're gonna be good for a long time. So I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. Falcons defense or the Bills? Matthew, let's go with the Falcons against the Cardinals. I mean, Kyler's first game back, or do we go with the Bills? Give me the Falcons. I don't know. I don't know what to expect from Kyler, and Birdman, appreciate you, Birdman. Yes, guys, that's right. We do have super chats now. We did get monetized because of all you great people out there. We've got enough subs, we've got enough watch time, so we do have the super chats now. We do have memberships as well. It's only $1.99 to become a member. A couple different stickers and stuff you can put on there. Just get access to the Discord that I'm about to set up. Get access to the Instagram chat that we have. A few people in, and get your questions answered quicker, be part of the crew. So yeah, appreciate your bird, man. Appreciate that, man. Come through tomorrow. We'll be here tomorrow at 10. But yeah, I think I'm gonna go with the Falcons defense there, Matt. There's a close one though. You could kind of go either way. But being that it's that first game back, I don't know what to expect there from Kyler. Yeah, appreciate all you guys out there. Throw any questions you have in the chat. Bulls, Pats, Texans, Bengals, Packers, and Steelers. Titans, Bucks, Niners, Jags. Just rolling through some of these games here. Browns, Ravens. I like that game. Lions, Chargers should be a really good game. Two good offenses, two good quarterbacks. Hoping to see more from Quentin Johnson. That obviously hasn't happened yet, but we haven't seen anything from JMO yet either, right? I mean, JMO's been relatively really quiet, so Isaac said, trying to get into a dynasty league, is it better to start one or take over a team first time? Well, if it's your first one, I probably wouldn't want to take over a team. We call that an orphan in the dynasty community. I wouldn't want to take over an orphan team because those guys, you don't know how long has that league been. The team might not be good, and you don't have the experience really to navigate the dynasty world. It's a whole different ball game as far as trades, as far as if you're playing super flex or one QB. So I'd be more inclined to kind of get into a dynasty league that's like a startup where you're just kind of starting with everybody, and be with kind of beginners. Maybe it's a home league that you're in, and you throw out the idea of those people in your home league. Hey, maybe we can start a dynasty league, and you're all kind of just starting it up kind of together. That's the easiest way to start, because once you start getting into some of these leagues, I mean, we have our subscriber league and we have just a ton of guys that are really, really smart, and they're just fucking savages. They're straight sharks out there. And the strategy that people use, the advantage of, trading draft picks, young players, older players, like it's a very different game than redraft. So I would definitely say to, get in kind of a little starter league with maybe some of your home league buddies, this way, just to get a taste in, just to get a dip, because it's very, very different than redraft. Dull Guitar said it's start 9. Okay, the bench is 10 spots, 4 taxis. You got 3 firsts. That's all. So you got 3 firsts, and you're 6-3, and you're competing this year. I mean, you're doing awesome right now. You've got those sick wide receivers, which is awesome. One team is 0-9, taking Marvin Harrison, so trying to get my receivers stacked. Yeah, man. It looks like you're set already at the wide receiver position. You're already stacked there. So, and is that one QB or is that super flex? Dull Guitar. Let me know. Let me know. But yeah, Olave T. I mean, you got Puka and Amon Ra already. That's awesome. You could even look to tier up from there. Can you go after, a CeeDee Lamb, AJ Brown, Chase, JJ? Can you get one of those top guys? It looks like you have enough assets to kind of come off and do that if you wanted to, of course. But yeah, let me know. Is that one QB or is that super flex? But yeah, Lions Chargers, that looks like that's going to be a really good game. I like the Browns Ravens game as well. Vikings game is just going to be interesting just because it's Dobbs in general, and the win that we had last week. But Other than that, I mean, not many other, like, really exciting games. I mean, does it suck that sometimes teams are tanking for the future? No, because it benefits both. I mean, if you wanna tank, then go ahead. Doesn't mean that your team's gonna get better. Like, are you gonna get the first pick in the draft? Yeah, but I mean, that doesn't mean that, they're gonna run the league, so it goes both ways. I mean, if you're not winning and you wanna tank, you wanna get the best pick possible. Not only because the player that you can pick, but just because of the value that that pick holds. So you can move that pick for several other first round picks or several other pieces or assets that you need for your team. So it just gives you more flexibility. Now, every league is different, right? So it's important to know the format, know the rules. Some leagues don't allow, tanking in the form of like not setting your lineups or, starting bum players and having guys like Diggs and CD on the bench. Like some leagues even don't even go by the record. Some teams go by lottery. Some team, they're every league is a little bit different. So know which kind of league you're in and what determines that, and then what the rules are. What are the bylaws? Are there penalties? Are there, what are you allowed to do as far as tanking is concerned? But listen, if another team is tanking, that means that they're donating their money this year. That just gives you a higher percentage chance to win the league. So I mean, it goes hand in hand. It is what it is. One QB, you have Lamar and Bryce. Okay, so you have Lamar and Bryce. I mean, you got Lamar, so you don't really need to worry about that there. I mean, you got 3 firsts, and now are those firsts early? Are they mid? Are they late? Where do those firsts land? And because it is 1 QB, I'm more inclined to, trade those picks if they're not in the top 3, basically, top 3, top 4. I probably wanna say top 3 in this class as of right now. So with 1 QB, that is always the thing. So, and how do people value picks in your league also? Do people value those first round picks, especially once that draft time comes? Because that's always interesting what people are willing to spend to get some of these picks once the draft comes and all these rookies are getting hyped up. So, are you going to be stuck making those 3 first round picks, or are you able to maybe package a couple things and make some moves, Can you take Olave in the first and go and get, JJ or Chase or trade 2 of the first with him? I mean, you've got plenty of options, so I'm just interested in knowing, the landscape of your league. What do people value? What is it possible to get with those firsts, if there's any players you can get, or are you actually stuck making those picks? Maybe it's better to play best ball then. No, I mean, listen, if you wanna get into Dynasty, then get into Dynasty. I mean, I'm not encouraging you to not get into it, but what I'm saying is that it just is a very different game. So, be mindful, be open, strategize, listen to, Dynasty stuff. I'm here, of course, as well. We have our Dynasty show every Tuesday where we specifically talk Dynasty. So, make sure you come through for those shows and just learn a little bit about the strategy and about how people move. But yeah, I mean, definitely get into Dynasty. Listen, Dynasty is a lot harder, obviously, but you're going to make mistakes. You're going to make a bad trade. You're going to wind up choosing a guy that doesn't pan out in Dynasty. I mean, it's going to happen, but the more you do it, the more you play, the more you learn, and the more you learn to like it. You've got to find what you like. My passion is more into Dynasty. It's just a lot more fun for me. I like playing Superflex with the 2 QBs. It just involves a lot more trading. The leagues are a lot more active. The values are a lot different. The picks mean more. The picks have more value. So it just makes a better just kind of environment. So I just really enjoy Dynasty and the guessing, the opinions, how everybody's different. So, I just enjoy that part. Best ball, I play in a few best ball leagues, but I don't enjoy those as much. Those are a lot easier because you don't have to set your lineup, but it is a different strategy. It's a different mindset than just kind of picking a regular, redraft team. So, Andrew, what's up, Andrew? Brees or Jacobs rest of the season? That's a tough one. I might have to go with my man. I'll go with my man Brees here, but Jacobs is close, and Jacobs is the guy that's going to be fed. So coach has even said that as well. But give me Brees. Give me Brees, especially when they have something to play for a little bit. So trades never happen in this league. Okay, wow. Okay, trades never happen. So yeah, one projected to be the 1-1, 1-4, and 1-8. Okay, awesome. So if you got projected to be the 1-1 and the 1-4, those are awesome. Like you can keep those. You can shop around the 1-4 maybe. I'd be looking to move that 1-8 though for sure. Can you pack? I know you said people don't want to trade him, but you can possibly package that with something. So in that case, if trades never happen, I mean, I'd probably be inclined to not sell players and take first round picks as much unless they're going to be some of those top picks. So you've got two, the 1-1, the 1-4. I mean, that's awesome. The 1-8, not excited about, but that's fine for now. That's fine for now. So I like it, man. You're doing right, Dog Guitar. You're doing your thing. If you don't know what you're doing, you will get got. He's speaking truth. It's different. Yeah, man. Yeah. There's some savages out there, man. It's crazy. Yeah, I played tight we played tight end premium as well. The standard almost nowadays is like the 1.5, so it's an extra half a point for the tight end. I play in two leagues that's 1.75, so it's an extra 0.75 per catch for the tight ends. So it just makes the tight ends a little bit more valuable. They have a little bit more trade value. Just kind of keeps the league more active and just, doesn't totally, shit on the tight end position from what it is and just regular, and just regular. So best ball is so boring. You don't make any moves. Yeah, I mean, exactly. You can make moves, I guess, but you're not excited about it. You know what I mean? Because it's a different game. It's a different strategy, right? It's a very, very different strategy in best ball. So trades are what makes fantasy fun. Yeah, especially exactly. That's why we play Dynasty, we play Superflex. Um, it's just a lot more fun. But Kittles or Taysom rest of season. Rest of season, I don't know. Right now it's Taysom. Right now you're playing Taysom for sure. Rest of season, I don't know because you know what happens with Taysom is he gets hot, he gets cold, and they start not using him. I don't know what's going to happen, but as of right now, yeah, we're playing Taysom over Kittle at the moment in 4 leagues, 2 playoffs and dynasty and keeper first year in both, but I know what I'm doing, but you got to be on point. Folks are good too. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Those folks are very good. But that's the beauty about dynasty is that there's many different strategies that you can use. There's no right or wrong in dynasty. It's just deciding like, okay, are you going all in or not? And what trades are you making? Are you making leverage trades? Are you playing more of a player type of game where you just like certain players, or you're strategizing a little more, right? Redraft traded away Kamara and McBride for Jacobs and Kincaid. Kamara and McBride for Jacobs. Okay, I'm okay with that. Win or loss, that's a win. That's a win. Kamara's been awesome. Don't get me wrong, but Jacobs is coming along, and then you're getting Kincaid as well. So Taysom's getting work. Yeah, I mean, I'm not crazy worried about Kamara. I think sometimes that happens where it's just has a bad game or doesn't get the touches, but I don't think that's going to continue. He's been straight awesome so far. So, but yeah, I'm okay with the Jacobs and Kincaid. Kind of lateral, running back for running back, tight end for tight end, but I'll take it. I'll take it. I have Lamar. This guy wants Lamar and a first for Jalen. Thoughts? For Jalen Hurts, Lamar, and a first. I'm okay with giving up Lamar and that 1-8 to go get Jalen. I wouldn't give up the 1-1 or the 1-4. I just kind of stick with Lamar. But yeah, I'd take Jalen for that 1-8 if you can give him the late first with Lamar. Nino, what's up, Nino? If Connor does play this week, should I still keep Ridley in at the flex? Um, Ridley has a good matchup, so I do like Ridley. Connor, it is the first game back. It is also Kyler Murray's first game back as well. Is Connor just going to come back and get the legit full workload or not? So maybe you play it safe and just play Ridley. So I probably just play Ridley instead of Connor. And see what happens this week with Connor, especially with Kyler coming back. Start Kate Otten or Kyle Pitts. It's a good question. I think they're kind of the same. Like, you could play either or. I mean, I know Auden had that nice touchdown, 2 touchdowns last game. I mean, 6 catches on 9 targets for 70 yards. That was against Houston. Tennessee, they can get thrown on, so I'm okay with playing Auden. Pitts, you got London coming back. We don't know what the fuck Arthur Smith is doing. It's hard to trust him. So the way that Pitts has been, we're playing play Auden swing sculptors. Let's go with Auden. Appreciate you tuning in, man. Smash that subscribe for me if you're new there. Appreciate you. Would you trade away Jacobs and Olave for Brees and Devontae? Jacobs and Olave for Brees and Devontae. Another one of those kind of one of those lateral moves. I'm okay with either side, really. I'd rather have Brees than Jacobs, not by much, but and then I mean Devontae. We don't know with this Aiden O'Connell. I mean, no quarterback type. Jacobs does have the bye in week 13, so I'm not sure how much how much you need him. Just keep that in mind as well, because Brees already had his bye. So I'm more inclined for the Brees and Devontae side. Devontae has not been good at all. I mean, this offense is just not looking good. Devontae's got the bye week 13 as well, obviously with Jacobs. I probably go Jacobs. I mean, give me the Jacobs Olave side. I think I don't know how much faith we've got here with this offense with Devontae. At least I know Jacobs is going to get a shit ton of work. This guy is 4-5. He has AJ Brown. What are you willing to give for AJ Brown? Look at your team real quick. Go back to your squad. For AJ Brown, can you give up it's probably gonna cost you a first with any of those guys. Olave in that 1.8, T. Higgins in that 1.8. That's probably all I'd be willing to spend. I don't know if I want to spend more than that because those other 2 picks are pretty high. Unless you can trade like that 1-4 straight up. So I'd be willing to give up the first and any one of those wide receivers to go and get AJ. Not Amon-Ra. Throw Amon-Ra out of there, but Puka, T, or Olave, add that late first on top of it to try and get to try and get AJ Brown. If I had to choose one, I'd choose Puka to get rid of. Y'all notice everyone is trying to lowball everyone in trades. I mean, that's a normal occurrence. That's everywhere, that's every league, that's every year. I mean, same thing. Everybody always throws the bullshit trades in. But you know what? People do it because people are stupid enough to accept those trades. And that's why people do it everywhere. So it is what it is. And listen, when you're negotiating, you're always gonna lowball first, right? You're not gonna give your highest price, right? Offer something low, get the conversation started, and then kind of negotiate your way into what the trade is gonna be. So Andrew said, "Thanks for the thoughtful response, brother. Appreciate you, man. No problem. Appreciate you tuning in, man. Appreciate everybody out there." Again, we do have the super chats and the memberships going now. So appreciate everybody out there. If you want to support the channel, you can join or throw out a super chat, of course. Appreciate everybody. I'll probably be here for a few more minutes, but yeah, throw out any last questions that you guys have out there in the chat before I hop off while you got me. Keep Saquon or get Puka. Oof, that's a tough one because Saquon, I mean, it's tough. I mean, he's got a pretty bad schedule coming up. That offense is absolutely horrible. They've got no quarterback. He is going to get a ton of the work, but Puka, on the other hand, you've got Stafford who's injured. Hopefully, he comes right back and he's okay. Um, So I'd probably want Puka as long as you've got some other running backs to fill that Saquon spot and you need a wide receiver, then I'll take Puka. Then I'll take Puka. That's a close one though. 'Cause I like Saquon. Just sucks the situation. But we also saw him that first year, right? When he was a rookie, that offense was straight garbage. The offensive line was horrible. And he still finished as RB1. But I mean, this is just a really bad for the Giants right now. And the problem is it's hard to come off of Saquon. So if you can get a Puka for him, like I'll take it because you ain't getting really nothing much else. People are just not willing to buy Saquon right now. So you got Komet and Kittle. What do you think I can get for Kittle? With what? With that 1.4, I want Brock. Okay, Brock Bowers. Okay. Um, I mean, I'm okay with that. You got Cole Kmet, so you're fine. George Kittle, I mean, it's a one QB league, so he's probably realistically worth like a late first, early second, maybe a second and a pick, maybe a second and a player. Might be ideal, but you've got to find it really just depends on who needs a tight end. How desperate is somebody at the tight end position, right? So find the team that needs a tight end and then try and trade them George Kittle. So depending on, what they have, what picks they have, or what players they have on their team, I think you kind of got to decide from there, but most importantly is to just find the team first, Find that team that needs a tight end and then attack from there because when you need something, you're willing to pay more, right? When you're desperate for something, you're willing to pay more. So you got to find a team that needs Kittle right now. That'd be your best bet. If you can't get a late first for him, I'll take probably a second. I'll take a second and any player on top of it. You should be able to get that at least. Mhm. But yeah, we've got man. It's crazy how fast the season went. Like we're almost through the season already. And look, in my redraft leagues, I mean, I'm killing it. Like in all my redrafts, I have two teams that are 4-5, but I'm in the playoff hunt. All the rest of my teams, I got winning records in my redraft league. So we're rolling strong. Dynasty, I'll probably have one stream where live I'm gonna go through absolutely all of my teams, all of my dynasty teams. I mean, I could show the redraft teams too, but just so everyone can see what I'm doing and, can see that, I do practice what I preach, especially when it comes to the dynasty content, of how we're moving in dynasty leagues. So I'll be showing everybody my teams, give you just kind of an open look, some of the teams that I'm rebuilding on, what I did and what I'm doing there, some of the teams I'm competing on, and what I did and what I'm doing there. So everybody can get to see that. Welcome, man. Andrew with the super chat. Appreciate you, Andrew. Appreciate the love, man. For real. Redraft 10 team PPR. I'm 4-5. Any moves? There's always moves to make, brother. Burrow and Jamar. Oh, yeah. And listen, this is one of those teams where you're 4-5 because you had Burrow and Jamar. Like, so you probably have a pretty good team. It just hasn't been working out so far. So Burrow, Jamar, Keenan. Yep. You got Bijan, you got Pollard, Jacobs, Kincaid, Bench, Deontay, Puka, and Swift. So yeah, like this is one of those, like you've got a good team. It's just been unfortunate because those first few weeks with Joe Burrow. I have a team like that as well, and I'm 4-5 also, all because of that, the Joe Burrow situation. So if there were any moves to make, I mean, you've got Pollard, you've got Jacobs. I like those guys there. You've got Bijan as the third running back. You've got Kincaid, Deontay, and Puka. You do have, I mean, Deontay and Puka on the bench, so maybe we can make a Swift Puka or Swift Deontay and try and tier up at wide receiver or running back. Maybe we can do something like that. That would be really kind of the only thing I'd probably be trying to do with this team because you have a good squad. Like, there's not much that you need to do here. So yeah, Deontay and Swift or Puka and Swift. Maybe you upgrade at wide receiver and or running back. Really, I mean, you got Bijan who you can move as well if you need to. So you've got some pieces that you can move that you can definitely look to make. Let me see who's out there. Who could we try and get here? Who does the JJ owner like? What's the JJ owner doing? What's their record? Do they need to make a move? Maybe you can steal like a JJ away. Maybe you can get a Saint Brown, Bijan, Deontay, Puka, and Swift. I'd trade any of those combination of guys here. Let's see if you can get anybody else up top there, like a Saint Brown. So other than that, I mean, I think you're absolutely fine, Andrew. Trust me, I have no idea how I have this stacked of a team with the losing record. Yeah, I mean that happens too, and you can always tell, right? Check the points for, check the points against. I mean, I have in two of my leagues, I have the most points for and the most points against, and it just sucks. But that's just how it happens sometimes. So you're not far off. You're 4-5, so you still got a great shot. You just got to string a few together. So I wouldn't be too worried if I were you. I love Brees, so I offered Jacobs and Swift, and the dude said no. So brutal. That's all right. Fuck him. Just keep rolling with Jacobs for now. Keep rolling with Jacobs for now. But yeah, I would look into any of those moves. I would make. We trade Keenan and Swift for Amon-Ra. Yeah, I would. I would. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Give you a little more stable top guy in Amon-Ra. I mean, Keenan's been awesome. I mean, he's been better than Amon-Ra, to be fair. So, you know, if all things are equal and these guys are both healthy the rest of the season, Amon-Ra did miss a game, so that's kind of what puts him back. But Keenan's been a straight monster. So I probably don't want to move Keenan. I probably want to move anything else but Keenan there. I mean, can you give up like Puka and Deontay and Swift for Amon-Ra? Like, can you give up all three of those guys to get Amon-Ra? I'd look to do that instead because I probably want to just keep Keenan. Unless you're more comfortable with Amon-Ra, then that's fine. Because Swift is kind of you're just playing with Swift right now. Dolgatar. I also have JT and David Montgomery. The oldest player on my dynasty is 26. Okay. It's Lamar. So for a while, my team should dominate. Nice, nice, nice. And listen, don't get stuck in the thought process of that you absolutely have to have like the young guys and have to have the youngest team. I mean, it's good to have a mix. And most of the time, those are the teams that win. They have a good mix. Maybe you might have a good, nice, young core nucleus of players, and then you fill in some of those veteran guys that can give you some of those points. So how I like to build my teams around the wide receivers, around the quarterbacks, and then when I'm competing or when it's time, I could go try and buy some of these running backs for cheap. Buy some of these older guys like the Joe Mixons and the Derrick Henrys and the James Connors, guys that are not, Alvin Kamara's, guys that are not going to cost you a ton of capital, not going to cost you first round picks, but you can buy these guys from some of these teams that are not contending right now, and just kind of fill in the running back position from there. So but yeah, I would say just don't get stuck on having always young players. Don't be afraid to go get a Stephon Diggs, you know. Isaac said, "Love learning the dynasty game. Just putting it into practice will be tough at first." Yeah, of course, of course. You know, of course. So just get your feet in and start. You start learning and see what you think of it. So there's Hammer. Hammer incoming tomorrow. Hammer in the building. What up, Hammer? Hammer said, appreciate y'all for supporting us. Yeah, yeah, we got some super chats in today. So appreciate everybody that sent in the super chats. Andrew and Birdman. Appreciate y'all. I actually got some cards to give out. So maybe I'll start that sooner or later for Christmas or maybe a Thanksgiving. We'll give out one of these cards. I've got some of these PSA graded 9s and 10s that I'm looking to give away. So Andrew said everyone in my league is stingy as fuck. I give everyone nuclear offers and still nobody is down. Is it how long has that league been going on? Well, actually it's a redraft league. My bad, Andrew. I thought you were talking Dynasty. Yeah, I mean, listen, sometimes people just don't trade. I mean, I'm in a few redraft leagues where there's just not much trading going on. I mean, it's always different with one QB. There's just not as much trading. And some people are just afraid to pull the trigger, afraid to trade guys, afraid to make moves. So, make your moves, man. Rank these guys rest of season: Brees, Jacobs, Kamara, Pollard, ETN. So I think we've got to go with ETN at top, right? He's been an absolute monster. So we'll go ETN, we go Kamara, we go Brees, we go Pollard, we go no, we go my bad. ETN, Kamara, Brees, Jacobs, Pollard. That's how I'd roll it. You could probably flip Jacobs and Pollard. Pollard is a nice little buy low for right now. Hasn't produced how we thought he would. Some guys were having him in the top 5, and he just hasn't produced that. So a little bit disappointing. And he's getting a ton of the work too. It's not like he's not getting the work. He's just not producing, especially how he did last year. So it looks a little bit different this year, getting the workload. First time that he's getting the actual real full workload, which is what we were afraid of. I think me and Hammer both were on the train of like being a little bit more cautious of Tony Pollard, especially in Dynasty, being a little bit of an older running back, about to be 27, never having that workhorse load, just having that kind of change of pace type back guy. Now getting the workload looks a little bit different. Doesn't look as quick, doesn't look as explosive as he was. And I don't know if that has to do with the workload, the injury that he had last year, or some kind of combination of both. So, Devin, what's up, Devin? H from Howell from Washington or Gino in Seattle. I mean, Howell's been awesome. So give me Howell, bro. Give me Howell. I mean, Gino's a good matchup too. So Gino, maybe he turns it around all of a sudden in this game. But as of right now, I mean, Howell is what, QB like 6? I mean, so we've got to go with Howell there, Devin. Got to go with Howell there, even with the good matchup for Gino. Isaac said people put so much stock into their draft and where they took a certain player and want that value back. But in redraft, that shouldn't matter. Yeah, I mean, in redraft, it depends, man. Once people start scoring points, all the draft stuff doesn't even like matter. I mean, it's even in Dynasty, like it's like especially nowadays, it's turning more into a kind of like a weekly game. It's almost like redraft style during the season. Like people just prefer points over some of those young guys. In the off season, nobody likes the older players. Nobody wants the older players. Once the season comes and they start scoring points, now people want those older players. So, I mean, it happens. Andrew took Bijan first round and Pollard second. Thought I was unbeatable. Yeah, I bet you thought you were, brother. Yeah, I took Bijan in the first in a few in 2, I think 2 leagues too. So it kind of hurt, but it is what it is, man. It is what it is. We could have been geniuses. I'm always a trade guy to actually help me win last year. Yeah, man. You're more inclined to make trades nowadays, man. As the more you can, make trades, have good relations with people in your league, the more you can do. The more you can do. So no problem, Devin. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you tuning in. Isaac said, "What up, Hammer?" Isaac saying, "What up to Hammer there?" But yeah, guys, throw any last questions you guys got out there. I'll give y'all another minute or two to throw out any last questions before I hop off. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. As always, we're on the road to 1,000 subs. So, appreciate everybody tuning in. hit the subscribe if you're new. If you're, you're having fun in here, join the chat. I mean, interact with the chat. We've got some regulars that are always showing up here, so we've got a good community that we're growing, and we love everybody and you guys to be part of that. So let's see, Sean, what's up, Sean? Should I trade away Swift, Aaron Jones, and Tua for Eckler? I have Achan coming back. My other RBs are JT and Henry, and you also have Hurts. I mean, honestly, I think with JT and Henry, like, do you really need to go out there and get Eckler? I mean, you've got Aaron Jones that you can fill in there when you need to, and then you've got Swift. So I don't know if you necessarily need Eckler, but if those guys are expendable to you, then yeah, I'm fine going to get Eckler. You roll with JT, Henry, and Eckler if you can afford to do that, as long as that doesn't kind of dismantle your squad. And who's your other QB if you're giving away Tua? Who's the QB that you'll be rolling with? Okay, you have Hurts. See, my bad. I see it there. You also have Hurts. So yeah, I'm okay with that. You've got Hurts, but on the other side, on the cautious side of it, we've seen Hurts is a little bit banged up, right? We've seen he's got that injury to the knee. Hurts wasn't there for us last year in the fantasy playoffs. So is there another QB that you can have as your backup just in case, Hurts goes down or is not able to, to play for whatever reason? Should I trade Kittle for a first and give up the first and Lamar? Yeah, fuck yeah. Hell yeah. If you can get a first for Kittle, it's an automatic smash. There's not even a question. One QB super flex. If you can get a first for Kittle, it's an automatic smash. So yeah, if you can get the first, you give up that first with Lamar and go and get Hurts. I mean, that's how you do it. That's how you do it, man. That's good. Trading is psychology. I'm a pro. It is. It's psychology, it's negotiation, it's a little bit of everything, man. A little bit of everything. This was the first time I've seen your video pop up on my home feed. Stoked I found you. Earned a sub, and I'll be back for future vids. Thanks for the help, bro. No, appreciate you, Andrew. Anytime, man. Yeah, we've got a bunch of videos that we drop on the page. We do live shows Tuesday nights, is specifically Dynasty, so you can come by for that. We actually stream to another channel as well, which is the 420 Fantasy Hustler Network. So we have our show that we do there on Tuesday. So we just do the Dynasty show on both streams, and then we're on Friday nights and Saturday nights 10 Eastern, and then Sunday mornings we do like 11:30 Eastern, an hour and a half before the games or so we're on as well. So yeah, come through anytime. We've got a bunch of videos as well, so check out the page. Appreciate you, Andrew. I got Murray as my backup. Okay, so yeah, you've got a decent backup then. And listen, I don't know how Murray's going to look or what he's going to look like in this first year back, coming back from injury. But if you feel safe with Murray and you want to go make that trade, then go ahead. You've got some depth, you got some assets. So yeah, go get Eckler, man. Go get Eckler and win the league, bro. But yeah, then again, you also do have Achan, you said as well. So then you're gonna have JT, Henry, Achan, and Eckler. I mean, who are you gonna play every week? Maybe you make trade from there too. Do you need any wide receivers? Maybe you don't stop there. Maybe you go more. Maybe you trade some wide receivers. Maybe you trade for some wide receivers as well. More, maybe tier up at wide receiver, right? Just keep tearing up. Keep tearing up. 2 trades in my league so far, and I made both. Yeah, there you go. There you go. But yeah, appreciate you guys. I'm about to head up out of here. I'll give you all another 30 seconds or so to hit me up in the chat for any last questions. But other than that, we'll be back tomorrow night, 10 Eastern. Answer more questions. Hammer will be in the building. We'll get into a little bit more of the games that'll be happening on Sunday. And then, of course, Sunday morning, we'll be going over some underdog stuff, player props, games, what we're looking at betting wise, what Hammer's looking into. Hammer is more into the betting than I am, but we'll get into that too. Listing maybe by calling. Yeah, it could be, man. Got to start it, man, for sure. Because there's so many trades that happen in Dynasty. Now, Isaac, do you play only one QB or do you play Superflex as well? Have you ever entertained Superflex or thought about that? Because there's a lot more trading, a lot more activity in Superflex League. So I'd be looking into that, man. Thanks, bro. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. Appreciate everybody out there again. Thank you guys again. as always, for coming through. Appreciate you guys that super chatted today. Birdman and Andrew, you guys are awesome. And we'll see y'all tomorrow, guys. Peace.